So there I was, receiving this call, doubting myself, not knowing if I could actually face a patient, because remember, I haven't nursed for a year then. And going through the things I went through, I was not even sure if I could sit and counsel a patient, because the work entailed doing wellness checks, HIV testing, pre and post counseling sessions, and BMIs, etc. But a still small voice in me prompt, and I know it was God's Spirit talking to me. But look, I was lost. However, I remembered God gradually reminded me of who I was. So that man called me again. I didn't do that vaccinations that day because my transport didn't work out that day. But for the next assignment, it came sooner than I thought. So I think 2 or 3 days later, he called me again and he asked me if I would go and work for him in Klaver, and it's along the west coast. For those who knows the South African region, it's in the Northern Cape, towards the Northern Cape, on the west coast, far off. And I said yes. I said yes to an assignment that I didn't have any idea who the people was that I was going to go with. I didn't have training. They were talking about digital data capturing on site while doing the assessments and submitting it afterwards. And I had no idea. However, I agreed. He sent me online form, so I filled it out and signed the contract online. Never met this guy, never met the people that I was going to go with, but I went. The morning of the pickup, and I said that I was not driving myself and etc. He said, not a problem. My driver and my coordinator, they will come and pick you up. Give me your address. The next morning, I was up. He said, you will be leaving at 3:30 in the morning because they're expecting you on that side around about 9 o'clock, 9:30 at the police station. We were visiting the police station. So that morning, I got into a Fortuner. I could hardly get in. Remember, I told you that I weighed 106 kilos, Still, I was still suffering from heart failure that was taking very long to clear up. My feet were swollen, my hands were swollen, my face was swollen. I didn't have a uniform to fit. He said I could dress in black or just neat and tidy with a black and white on. So there I was that morning, driving with complete strangers to Klaver. At Mamasbury, I met the sisters. He said, there's 2 sisters that is going to go with you. You're going to meet them in Mamasbury. And you know what? Something miraculously happened. Look, I was a complete stranger to the people that were driving. I didn't know what to expect, who to expect. But a colleague that I studied with and that I didn't see for 10 years, she was the one waiting for us. And you know, it was amazing to me once again. I realized that God will put people on your path that can take you to where He wants you to be. And that day I realized that I was on the right track.